What's going on, Eagles fans? It's your boy TK the Official, and welcome back to another episode of TK Sports Talk, where we talk about the NFL, and more importantly, we talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, man. Listen, preseason is coming to a close. This is week 3 of the preseason as the Philadelphia Eagles will take on the Indianapolis Colts tonight, and it's been a little bit of a rough week, all right? We know what was going on in practice. We know that the last practice the Philadelphia Eagles had, the last joint practice that they had this past Tuesday, ended in what they call a little bit of fisticuffs, man, and we understand what's going on out there, man. These are grown men, and we don't like it when you taking cheap shots at our players, you know. And maybe Derek Barnett got things kicked off and got things started when he took a little bit of a cheap shot at their quarterback. Not even really a cheap shot, just kind of smacking the ball out of his hands, and they ain't really like that. And for whatever reason, I respect that, all right? But what we didn't like was them taking extra shots at Kenny Gainwell, so Jason Kelce took things into his own hands, all right? A little bit uncharacteristic from Jason Kelce was just let you know what kind of a day it was out there on the football field, man. And anybody can get agitated and irritated and whatever other kind of tated there are out there that you can be, all right? Now, couple things coming into this game right here, man, all right? You don't expect any starters to play, okay? The only starters that I'm thinking about that might be playing is you might see a little bit of a rotation with Zach Cunningham possibly. They might want to see how Zach Cunningham and one of the other linebackers look out there in case Nakobe Dean is ever out for a couple plays or is out for a game or two due to injury or anything like that, all right? Also, safety, we already know what kind of mystery box or what you might want to call musical chairs, what we got going on in safety there. We already understand that. So, I don't expect to see any Reed Blankenship. We haven't seen him at all this entire preseason. So, most likely it'd be, again, the mixture of Sidney Brown and Justin Evans, who's picking up a lot of steam out there, all right, known as a good cover safety. Looking at Terrell Edmonds and then I think that's it. I think there's another safety that's I'm sorry, Kayvon Wallace, man. Shout out to my man from Clemson, man. I didn't mean to forget about you. It's just that's where you fallen, unfortunately, in the conversations, and I thought it was a promising camp for Kayvon Wallace. Unfortunately, it looks like he's might be the odd man out when it comes to his safety position, depending on whether or not the Philadelphia Eagles decide that they want to keep Justin Evans or not, man. All right, want to see what we're going to see from the wide receiver position. We need to fill in roster spots 5 and 6. Okay, I think 1 through 4 we pretty much already know what it is. We got AJ Brown, we got Devontae Smith, we got Quez Watkins, and we got Oz Olamide Zaccheaus, okay, or Oz for those of you who can't say his name, all right? Well, we know that we need to round out into the 4th or 5th spot, okay? Is Njoku going to make it? We liked what we saw from Cleveland. Unfortunately, he got hurt, all right? Who else is out there that's going to get a chance? Is it Devin Allen? Is it Covey? Who's going to get a chance to get that 6 roster spots, or the Eagles going to carry 6, all right? Which is a question. I'm not so sure that the Eagles will even carry 6 wide receivers, because I think we're going to have to go light in one of our normal positions where we might go extra player just to make room for the cornerbacks. I think not only cornerbacks but for D-line. I don't know how many D-line they're going to carry, all right? We got a lot of really good players, all right? Some players that we can't stash on the practice squad that we're going to lose, that we don't want to lose. So we're going to have some tough decisions to make there, okay? I want to see the cornerbacks playing tonight, all right? All of our young guys out there, all right? No more Greedy Williams here. Jack McPherson is out for the season, okay? So that's some roster spots that's available. We know right now Eli Ricks is fighting for a spot. Goodrich is fighting for a spot. Damn, I said I wasn't going to forget my man's name. Mekhi Gardner, bam, I ain't forget your name, my man, okay? Mekhi Gardner out there fighting for a spot, all right? And I like to keep all these guys. Unfortunately, one of them is probably going to have to go on a practice squad, because we could do the same thing with cornerback as we did with wide receiver, all right? So if we look at the cornerbacks that we have, all right, we got Darius Slay, Big Play Slay. Shout out to my man if you watching, all right? I don't mean to mess up your name, all right? Big Play Slay, all right? And we got James Bradbury, we got Avonte Maddox, all right? And then Josh Jobe is now taking over that 4th, probably outside corner spot, all right? Now, looking at what we got going on, we got Eli Ricks, all right? We got Mekhi Gardner, and then, damn, I was trying to so hard to remember Mekhi Gardner's name that I forgot my other man's name. All right, but Mario Goodrich. All right, so we got players out there at that particular position. All right, and Keely Ringo. Okay, so let's just think about it. All right, because he's going to make the team. All right, a guy that should have been maybe even taken a little bit higher in the draft. All right, he's definitely not your traditional 5th round pick. I believe he was a 5th round pick. All right, so you could look at Keely Ringo as like a 3rd round pick. To be honest, okay, this is a guy that's going to be on the team. I don't see them cutting Keely Ringo whatsoever. All right, so that makes it even more dire, which is why I think the Philadelphia Eagles just might go 6 deep at cornerback. All right, just hear me out, man. All right, because you can always pick up a wide receiver. It's hard to find good cornerbacks, man, especially good young talent that you like. All right, so let's see. Big play Slay, okay. James Bradbury, okay. Avonte Maddox, Josh Jobe, Keely Ringo, okay. All right, and then who was it going to be? Mekhi Gardner, Eli Ricks, Mario Goodrich. It's tough decisions there, man. All right, so very interesting to see a lot of competition at cornerback, man. Never seen it so deep at cornerback, competition-wise, man. I love what I see. All right, interested to see what we see from the rest of the players. All right, we want to see what offensive lineman will make the team tonight. All right, who will make the team tonight? What backup the linebackers are going to be here? What backup safety? I guess we went through them all. We already know who the backups are going to be. All right, so tonight, not a whole lot to look into. Now let's get into one thing that's been going on out there before the game tonight. There's a lot of talk about Jonathan Taylor. Do you want to trade for Jonathan Taylor? Now, you know what your own personal feeling is, but do you realistically think that Howie Roseman is going to trade for Jonathan Taylor? It just depends, all right? Can Howie see them fitting him into the cap with the other star players that the Eagles are going to have, okay? Let's just think about who's going to be coming up, all right? Because Jalen Hurts is already taken care of, all right? And we already know that Howie and Jeffrey Lurie are the kings of restructuring deals for guys, okay? So let's just think about it, all right? You got Devontae Smith out there. He's going to need a deal at some point in time. You know the Eagles like to get deals done earlier rather than later, okay? And it's a shrewd move for them to do so, okay? Let's think about who else is going to probably need a deal. This is just projecting outward, all right? Big deals. Sweat's probably going to need a big deal, all right? You're going to need to get Hassan Reddick done, okay? You're going to need to get Jordan Davis done at some point in time. I don't know what kind of deal it's going to be, but I'm sure Jordan Davis is going to be a cornerstone of this defense for a very long time, all right? You're going to need to eventually get a deal set in place for Jalen Carter. If he starts to have the type of production that we think he's going to have in his rookie year, you're going to have to get that money ready by the time his 3rd year come around, because he's going to get a bag. He's going to get a bag, all right? So knowing all these things that's going to take place over the next 3 to 4 seasons, do you then want to add Jonathan Taylor to it, and you know you're going to have to pay him? I mean, just think about it. The highest paid running back on the roster right now is Boston Scott at $2.1 million, okay? And we're talking about arguably the best running back in the entire football league, okay? And we know what King Henry, Derrick Henry got out there, okay? We saw what Miles Sanders was able to get down there in Carolina. He pretty much got the most money of any running back this offseason, all right? Now, Jonathan Taylor come over here, okay, you play for 1 year, okay, but how much do we have to give up? I can't necessarily see the Philadelphia Eagles giving up a first-round pick. All right, we got a dearth of running backs, okay? So why not give up some running backs, okay? And let's give up a second-round pick, all right? Let's not just go try to take them to the cleaners, all right? But, let's give them a third-round pick that can turn into a second-round pick, or do something that we could do, something that limit the damage just in case we're not able to close the deal with Jonathan Taylor, because I do think that he is a talent that should be paid. But there is a limit. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think that he shouldn't get his money from some team. It just may not be the Philadelphia Eagles, man. Anyway, it's your boy TK, the official, man. Week 3 of the preseason tonight. I'm interested to see quarterback play. All right, we see what's happening in San Francisco. So why can't the quarterback Tanner McKee, if he's looking better than Marcus Mariota, I think it's a real conversation that should be had. I know the coaches don't want to have that conversation, and I understand why they don't want to have it. But we're the fans, and we can have it. And I think that if Mariota's not showing what he needs to show, I'm more than confident in Tanner McKee. I like what I've seen out of Brian Johnson, being able to change up the play calls and being able to make things work for Tanner McKee. All right, and so I have all the faith and confidence in the world that going into a regular season game, that he'll know they have a separate set of plays for Tanner McKee. And as far as wide receivers and running backs goes, listen, man, with this type of offensive line, we can run any offense that we want once we get out there. All right, but I'm interested to see how the quarterback battle shakes out tonight. All right, let me see. I want to see what running backs we're going to use. We know all the running backs that are here. Okay, we got 5 running backs. All right, and we only going to keep 4. Maybe 4, depending on what happened, all right? Because we might need to go light at running back. We might need to only keep 3 running backs just so we can make space for another position. I mean, some of these players we could pick up and put them back, but we got a lot of really good players that we don't want to lose. So it's just going to be interesting to see how Howie Roseman and the rest of the staff juggle the roster and figure out how they can make it work and who they can keep and who they can get past waivers and who they can get onto the practice squad, who they can't, and who they need to keep, and how many players at this position. It's going to be it's going to be a big puzzle that Howie's going to have to solve. But if there's any GM out there that's going to do a great job doing that, man, it's definitely Howie Roseman, 100%, man. Eagles and the Colts tonight. All right, I'll see you guys after the game. All right, I got my swagger back. I got things in order, man. All right, I don't know how many of you going to watch the game, but I promise to watch the entire game. I promise, all right? Hey, see you guys after the game, man. Have yourselves a great Eagles night, man. Go Birds.